Start.
So good morning students. Today we will deal with the problems of the chapter aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. So the first problem is, let's show how each of the following compounds can be converted to benzoic acid. So we have to convert the given compounds into benzoic acid, such as first one is ethyl benzene. You have to convert this ethyl benzene to benzoic acid. Right. So as I have told you that this ethyl group, ethyl benzene, let us first draw the structure. Ethyl benzene is C2H5 and on the benzene ring, and you have to convert this into benzoic acid. Got it? Now any alkyl chain which is present on the benzene ring can be converted to the carboxylic group with the help of a reagent, that is alkaline KMnO4, or any other oxidizing agent you can use. Okay. So if you use alkaline KMnO4, first of all you will get here potassium benzoate. This is potassium benzoate. Okay. And this on acidification. This on acidification will give you benzoic acid. So this is the first conversion. Okay. We are dealing with the questions given in your in-text. Okay. The second one is, you have to convert acetophenone to benzoic acid. Have you noted down it? Note down, because I am not going to give the notes of this. Note down this one. Afterwards you can note from the video from after pausing it. So next one is, you have to convert the acetophenone. Acetophenone to benzoic acid. Again the same method, because the ketones can also be converted to carboxylic group with the help of alkaline KMnO4. Okay, so treat it with alkaline KMnO4. Again you will get here potassium benzoate, which on acidification will give you benzoic acid. Right? See, we can convert any alkyl chain on the benzene ring to the carboxylic group with the help of alkaline KMnO4. We can convert the ketonic group to the carboxylic group with the help of alkaline KMnO4 followed by acidification. We can also convert the alkene group. If any alkene group is present here, then also it can be converted to the carboxylic group with the help of alkaline KMnO4. Remember that however long the chain is, it will be converted to the carboxylic group only. Okay. So let us take another one, that is, we have to convert bromobenzene. Before going that, one more example, phenylethyl. We will convert phenylethyl to benzoic acid. So I have told you now that alkene group is also present, then also it can be converted to the carboxylic group with the help of alkaline KMnO4. So same, treat it with alkaline KMnO4, and whatever the length of carbon chain, 2 carbons and 3 carbons, 4 carbons, whatever the length of the chain is, it will be converted to the carboxylic group. Okay, then do its hydrolysis. You will get benzoic acid. Got it? Then another one is that you have to convert bromobenzene to benzoic acid. So bromobenzene This is your bromobenzene. And this you have to convert into benzoic acid. Got it? So any haloalkane, if you have to convert into carboxylic acid, first convert it into Grignard reagent. How to convert it into Grignard reagent? Treat it with magnesium metal in the presence of dry ether. Got it? So you will get here phenyl magnesium bromide. Phenyl magnesium bromide. Now, suppose you have to convert directly it into acid, treat it with carbon dioxide. So we will treat it with carbon dioxide. We will get an intermediate. To this carbon, this double bond O will be attached. These two bonds will open to one OMgBr will be attached, and to the other one this phenyl group, phenyl ring is attached. So you will get this intermediate here. Got it? To this carbon, double bond will remain as such. These two bonds will open up. To one bond this phenyl ring is attached. To the other bond OMgBr is attached. Now do its hydrolysis. So what you got? You got this benzoic acid. You got benzoic acid and MgBrOH. So whenever you want to convert any haloalkane or haloarene to carboxylic acid, first convert it into Grignard reagent and then treat it with carbon dioxide. You will get the carboxylic acid. Got it? Now let us come to the next one. Here the question is that which acid of each pair would you expect to be stronger? Means we have to compare the acidic strength of the given acids. Okay. So to compare the acidic strength, we should remember that the one which is attached to electron withdrawing group will be stronger. Which is attached to electron releasing group, which will be weaker. So what are electron withdrawing groups? Electron withdrawing groups are fluoro, chloro, iodo, nitro, cyano, which has minus I effect. CHO group, COOH group. Okay, these all are minus I. They all are electron withdrawing. Electron releasing groups are methyl, ethyl, isopropyl, tertiary butyl. They are electron releasing group. So if electron releasing groups are attached, the acid will be weaker. If electron withdrawing groups are there, acid will be stronger. So keeping this in mind, we will do the questions which are given here. So the first question is that you have to compare CH3COOH and CH2FCOOH, means acetic acid and fluoroacetic acid. Now as I have told you, let us draw the structures. Here we have methyl group attached to the carboxylic group. Here this fluoro is attached. Now you know that this fluoro group has minus I effect, whereas this methyl group has plus I effect. So which one is stronger? Fluoroacetic acid is stronger than acetic acid. Okay, due to the minus I effect of the fluoro group. Next one is given fluoroacetic acid and chloroacetic acid. Fluoroacetic acid and chloroacetic acid. Now can you tell that which one is stronger? The minus I effect of fluoro is more than that of minus I effect of chloro, because fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine. Therefore, fluoroacetic acid is more stronger than chloroacetic acid. Understood? Why? Because the minus I effect of fluoro group is more than the minus I effect of the chloro group due to more electronegativity of fluorine. Got it? Then next one is given these two compounds are given. Now out of them, which one will be stronger? Can you tell? So nearer the minus I effective group, stronger will be the acid. जितना कार्बोक्सिल ग्रुप के पास है, okay, that stronger will be the acid. अब देखो, here the fluoro group is present in the fourth position. Here it is present in the third position. So which one is nearer? This one is nearer. So therefore 3-fluoro-butanoic acid is more stronger than 4-fluoro-butanoic acid. The next one is, we have been given two structures. Here CF3 group is attached at the para position of benzoic acid, and the other one is para methyl benzoic acid. Can you tell which one will be stronger? First or second? Yes, first one will be stronger due to the attachment of these 3 fluoro groups, because they are electronegative. They have minus I effect, whereas this methyl group is electron releasing, so it will decrease the acidic strength. Understood? So next we will come to the next question, that is draw structures of the following derivatives. We have to draw structures of the derivatives which are given there. So the first one is 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone of benzaldehyde. 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone of benzaldehyde. Okay, so benzaldehyde is aldehyde group on the benzene ring. This is benzaldehyde. And let us draw the structure of 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine. This is 2,4-DNP, that is 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine. Okay. To draw the structure of 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone, you have to remove this water from here. Okay, H2O. Okay, and connect this carbon and nitrogen with the help of double bond. So you will get the structure. You can draw it directly also. If you are getting confused, you write the structure of benzaldehyde and 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine and then you attach it. So you will get here 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone. Understood? Now next one is cyclopropanone oxime. You have to draw cyclopropanone oxime. Oximes are prepared with the help of hydroxylamine. Okay, so cyclopropanone is, this is cyclopropanone. Okay, you should know these structures, then only you will be possible to do these questions. Cyclopropanone and hydroxylamine is NH2OH. So again, remove this water molecule and attach it. So this is your cyclopropanone oxime. Okay, cyclopropanone oxime. Understood? Now next one is acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. So acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. Acetals are formed when you treat this aldehyde with alcohol. Okay, first you will get hemiacetal and then you will get acetal. So since it is a dimethyl acetal, so you will treat it with methyl alcohol. Suppose it is diethyl acetal, you treat it with ethyl alcohol. Okay, so here we have to treat it with methyl alcohol. So acetaldehyde is CH3 CHO. Okay, acetaldehyde means ethanol. Ethanol's common name is acetaldehyde. So when you treat it with alcohol, that is CH3OH, so first of all what will happen? You will get here OCH3, okay, and OH. Here ether and alcoholic both groups are present and it is known as hemiacetal. So this is hemiacetal formed. Now further you treat it with one more molecule of methanol, because here we are taking dimethyl. So you will get diether. Here also OCH3 and here also OCH3. Now this is your desired product, acetaldehyde dimethyl acetal. Understood? So if you have to prepare acetal, treat it with alcohol. Got it? Now the next one is semicarbazole of cyclobutanone. Semicarbazole of cyclobutanone. So semicarbazones are formed with semicarbazide. Cyclobutanone is, this is cyclobutanone. You can attach this double bond at any place. Okay. And what is semicarbazide? Semicarbazide is this is your semicarbazide. So remove this water and you will get semicarbazole. For this you should remember the structures of these ammonia derivatives. Okay, we have studied these ammonia derivatives, semicarbazide, then there was 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, then phenylhydrazine, then what is hydrazine. All these structures, if you will remember, it is very easy to prepare those derivatives. Now next one is ethylene ketal of hexane-3-ol. Ketals are formed when your ketone is treated with alcohol. Okay, and we have to take a dihydric alcohol. So ethylene ketal we have to prepare. Ethylene ketal of hexane-3-ol. Okay, ethylene ketal means we have to treat it with ethylene glycol. Okay, ethylene glycol is CH2OH, CH2OH. For ketal, we have to take dihydric alcohol only. What is dihydric alcohol? The alcohols in which we have two hydroxyl groups. So we have to take ethylene ketal. For ethylene ketal, ethylene glycol we have to take it. Ethylene glycol. Now I will write this structure reverse like that. HOCH2, HOCH2. Okay. Remember, this bond is in between carbon-carbon. You people just make the mistake in drawing the bond. So that is very important that you should remember. Now we have to prepare for hexane-3-ol. So hexane-3-ol. This is hexane-3-ol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Third पे ketonic group. remove this water from here. Okay, now attach the remaining one as it is CH3, CH2, C, CH2, CH2, CH3 here, and here these bonds will open, this double bond OCH2, OCH2. So this is ethylene ketal of hexane 3. Okay, then methyl hemiacetal of formaldehyde. So formaldehyde is HCHO, and methyl hemiacetal means we have to take methyl alcohol. So take here methyl alcohol. We will take directly CH3OH. So this double bond will open. At one place there will be OH, at other place there will be OCH. This is your methyl hemiacetal of formaldehyde. Got it? Now come to the next one. So in the previous classes I have given you some tests to distinguish between the different compounds, and you have done for aldehydes and ketones. One is there for carboxylic acid and ester. How will you distinguish between benzoic acid and ethyl benzoate? So benzoic acid is carboxylic acid, whereas ethyl benzoate is an ester. So if we treat benzoic acid with sodium bicarbonate or sodium carbonate, the brisk effervescence of carbon dioxide will be liberated because it is carboxylic acid. Whereas in the case of ethyl benzoate, since it is ester, it will not respond to this test. So we can distinguish between the two. Let us write the reaction. Distinguishing test we are doing. Okay, so for benzoic acid, when you treat it with sodium bicarbonate, it will give you sodium benzoate, carbon dioxide gas will be liberated, and what? This carbon dioxide will turn lime water milky. Okay, so this is the test for carboxylic acid. So benzoic acid will respond to this test, whereas the other compound given ethyl benzoate is ester, so it will not respond to this test. Understood? Rest you have done. Now let us come to the conversions. Here you have been asked to convert the compounds into benzene. Okay. So one by one we will do. First we have to convert methyl benzoate. No, you have to prepare these compounds from benzene. Okay, so methyl benzoate from benzene. You have to convert benzene into methyl benzoate. Right? So how can we do this? So first of all, what you do? You do the Friedel-Crafts reaction for benzene. Friedel Dieter-Kraft reaction is done in the presence of alkyl halide. Since you require only one carbon here for the carboxylic group, so you treat it with methyl halide. Okay, in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3. So you will get here toluene. Now how can you convert toluene into benzoic acid? By treating it with alkaline KMnO4 followed by acidic hydrolysis, isn't it? I have told you that any alkyl group can be converted to the carboxylic group by oxidation with the alkaline KMnO4. So here you will get here benzoic acid. Now benzoic acid to ester, treat it with methanol in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay. Since we require here methyl benzoate, we are treating with methyl alcohol. If ethyl benzoate, treat with ethyl alcohol. Whatever the number of carbons are required here, that carbon you take in the alcohol. Okay. So this is how the first conversion, that is benzene to methyl benzoate, is done. Next one, that is you have to convert benzene to meta-nitrobenzoic acid. So first benzene to meta-nitrobenzoic acid, you have to convert this compound. Okay. Can you tell me what can be done? To prepare benzoic acid, we will follow the same steps. That first of all do its alkylation. Afterwards you oxidize it, it will convert to benzoic acid. After benzoic acid, you know that this carboxylic group is meta-directing group. Okay. So you can do its nitration directly. Nitration is done in the presence of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. So when you do the nitration, we will get here meta-nitrobenzoic acid. Okay. So same process, only one step is different. Understood? Now next one is you have to convert benzene to para-nitrobenzoic acid. Now since you have to convert it into para-nitro, now you have to convert into para-nitro. So if you will convert this benzoic acid by nitration at this step, this benzoic acid is meta-directing, so nitro group will come at meta position. So we cannot do this. We have to avoid this step here. But you know that this methyl group is ortho-para-directing. So first we do nitration here. Okay. Do the nitration at this step. You will get para-nitro toluene. Okay. Actually you get both ortho-nitro and para-nitro. Both the products will be formed. You have to distill it. Steam distillation you have to do. So you will get this para-nitro. And after this you can directly oxidize it in the presence of alkaline KMnO4 followed by hydrolysis. Okay. Why we have done this? Have you understood? That if after forming the benzoic acid we will do nitration, the nitro group will come at meta position. So before converting this methyl group to the carboxylic group, we have to do nitration. Because this group is ortho-para-directing, so it will send it to the ortho-para position. And we require at the para position only. Got it? Now the next one is we have to prepare phenyl acetic acid. So to prepare phenyl acetic acid from benzene, phenyl acetic acid means we have to prepare this compound, benzene to phenyl acetic acid. How can we do this? Any idea? Okay. Again, do its Friedel-Crafts. So we will get toluene. Okay. Now we require actually 2 carbons. One more carbon is required. So how can we introduce one more carbon here? So what we will do? We will treat it with chlorine in the presence of ultraviolet light. HNU means ultraviolet light energy. Okay. So when you are fluorinating it in the presence of light, then this chlorine will not go into the ring. It will get introduced in the side chain. So side chain substitution will take place. So here you will get CH2Cl. Now further what you want is that this Cl, instead of this chlorine, if we get cyano group, then cyano group can be converted to the carboxylic group. So treat it with benzene. So treat it with KCl. Okay. You will get here CH2Cl. Okay. And then further you do its complete hydrolysis. On complete hydrolysis, it will give you carboxylic group. The cyano group can be converted to the carboxylic group by complete hydrolysis. So this is the method through which you can convert the benzene into carboxylic, into this phenyl acetic acid. Understood? First to do its alkylation, then side chain substitution, then substitution of halo group by the cyano group, and then complete hydrolysis. Okay. Then the last one in this exercise is para-nitrobenzaldehyde. We have to convert benzene to para-nitrobenzaldehyde. So again, here you have to convert this benzene to para-nitro product. Okay. So we can do this with the help of, can you tell? No. So first of all, again you do alkylation. Nitrous AlCl3 and take here CH3Cl. Toluene you will get, do its nitration. At para position nitro group will come, then do its oxidation, or directly this group can be converted with the help of chromyl chloride, this Guittard reaction, CrO2Cl2, treated with chromyl chloride. You will get here benzaldehyde. Okay. Instead of this, you can do side chain substitution also. You can treat it with acetic anhydride also. Any step you can do. So this is how this conversion can be completed. Now the next one is that you have to convert propanone to propene. We have to convert propanone to propene. So propanone is this one and propene is double bond containing compound. So what you can do? First reduce it. Sodium borohydride we can use, or any other reducing agent also you can use. Hydrogenation in the presence of nickel, platinum or palladium can also be done. So you will get here secondary alcohol. Afterwards you do its dehydration. Dehydration is done in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So water will be removed, OH from here, H from here, and double bond will be introduced. Okay. So first reduce it and then dehydrate it. Okay. So this is how this conversion can be done. Now the next one is benzoic acid to benzaldehyde. Or we will do ethanol to 3-hydroxybutanol. Ethanol. We have to convert into 3-hydroxybutanol. Butanol. So for doing this reaction, first of all you convert this into ethanol. See, here we are getting beta hydroxyaldehyde. Beta hydroxyaldehyde or beta hydroxyketone is prepared in aldol condensation. And for aldol condensation we require either aldehyde or ketone. Okay. So you treat this compound first with oxygen. Mild oxidation you have to do. If you take here strong oxidizing agent, it will be converted to the carboxylic acid. So we have to do its mild oxidation. So we took here chromic acid. Okay. We get here ethanol. Now this ethanol you treat with dilute NaOH. Means you do here aldol condensation. So you will get the desired product. Okay. So it's very easy, but you should know for this that what reagent is used for preparing the compound. If you know this, then it is very easy to do these conversions. Got it? Now next we will do benzene to meta-nitroacetophenol. So very easy. First you do its acetylation, Friedel-Crafts acylation in the presence of anhydrous FeCl3. So you will get here acetophenol. Acetophenol is prepared. Do its nitration. Isn't it? So this is how they all are two-step processes. So they are very easy to do, but you should know the reagents which are required. Now the next one, benzene to meta-nitroacetophenol. We have already done. Benzaldehyde to benzophenol. Benzaldehyde to benzophenol. So for benzaldehyde to benzophenol, what we can do? Directly we cannot do this reaction. Okay, we will see it later. Let us do the next one. Bromobenzene to 1-phenylethanol. This is benzaldehyde to 3-phenylpropanol. 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 Benzaldehyde to 3-phenylpropanol. How can we do this? For doing this reaction, we treat this with a Grignard reagent. Okay, we have to prepare a primary alcohol. We cannot do that one. What we can do is to its aldol condensation, cross aldol. Okay, in the presence of dilute NaOH, do it with the required 2 more carbons, so do it with ethanol. So when you treat it with ethanol, we will get here CHOH and here we will get CH2, CHO. This is cross aldol condensation product. Here we will get CHOH and this CH2 CHO. It will remain as such. Remove water from here. So when you remove water, you will get alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde, CH double bond CH and here CHO. Now reduce it. You will get the desired. Okay. So first to do cross aldol condensation and then reduce it. Then you will get the desired product. Then the next one is bromobenzene to 1-phenylethanol. We require this compound from bromobenzene 1-phenylethanol. This is bromobenzene and this is 1-phenylethanol. So here we are preparing secondary alcohol from the haloalkane. So for preparing secondary alcohol from haloalkane, first convert it into Grignard reagent. So you will get here phenyl magnesium bromide. This is phenyl magnesium bromide. Okay. And then how many carbons are more required? 2 carbons. So you treat it with 2 carbon containing aldehyde. See, when Grignard reagent is treated with formaldehyde, methanol, we get primary alcohol. With any other aldehyde, secondary alcohol. And when it is treated with ketone, we get tertiary alcohol. For secondary alcohol, 2 carbons are required, so we have taken here ethanol. So this is how, students, we have to do the conversion. Try to do more on your own. I will put as a homework. Okay. Otherwise, in the next class we will continue.